Greetings, villains, vigilantes, heroes, and heroines.
You're tuned in to Project SuperVillain. We're your hosts. I'm ArcDrifter.
I'm Killboss.
Welcome back to our Top 5 playlist. So this is the series where we review 5 games coming out in the upcoming month, and this upcoming month is April. So like and subscribe if you're new here and you want to see more stuff like this, because we're just going to hop into it and let you guys know the rundown of these games. Let's go.
Do it.
You know, it's really funny that I transition with a snap, because this next game is called Pokemon Snap.
New Pokemon Snap.
That's right, it's a remaster, or I guess it's a remake, we should say, because there's quite a bit of new elements to this game, and the whole thing's pretty much been built from the ground up. You can definitely tell that. So yeah, you get to go across this like set path, and the game pretty much takes you where it wants you to go. You don't really get to choose, but as you're going along the path, you have a camera, and it's a first-person kind of game, so you're taking photos of all these Pokemon as you go, and it looks like a very relaxing game, actually.
Yeah, like super relaxing. I mean, you're on rails assaulting Pokemons with apples the whole way. So I mean, what could be more relaxing than a Saturday evening of that?
That sounds like some real fun.
So, as we've mentioned, this is literally just snapping pictures of Pokemon and their habitats and kind of seeing what they're all about. And there's going to be, you know, different Pokemon at day versus different Pokemon at night to find.
So, like I just mentioned, you're taking photos of Pokemon on a set path, and you're actually able to share your photos afterwards with your friends. There's this whole area of the game where you can just look at other people's photos and kind of see like some of the cool things that people are able to capture and or make, because you can actually customize the photos with filters and add stickers and all sorts of stuff over top and make your own little design for it. So that's a really cool aspect. If you're into games that are really focused on creativity, this is a game for you.
So yeah, on top of all the customization and the fun stuff that you're going to get to do, there are a lot of items that you can use to interact with those Pokemons, and you know, you can cause them to do different reactions or catch them in different poses. This kind of stuff is going to affect your score. I'm not sure entirely what that pertains to, but maybe it's part of getting some of the new upgrades that you're going to get from Professor Oak, because you seem to show him your photos and then he grades them, and you know, you get a bunch of new stuff from him, and these things can apparently unlock more levels and some of the hidden paths that are on the ones you've already played.
Like I said, it's set on a straight path, right? But I'm assuming there's going to be ways where you can choose a direction in certain cases, I'm guessing, and go off on a different path and see the Pokemon over in that area.
So yeah, if you have played the previous Pokemon Snap titles, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't enjoy this one here. This one is coming out on April 30th, and again, that's a Switch exclusive. So if you got a Switch, you're in luck. If not, go buy a Switch. Nintendo wants you to. Next, we have Abe returning with Oddworld Soulstorm. These games are basically just like a parody of a bunch of different action and comedy franchises. Like, there's a lot of references in them and stuff like that, but they are absolutely zany, wacky. The setting in these games is just absolutely unpredictable. By the name Oddworld, if you couldn't tell already, it's definitely going to be a trip, man. So, not that every game in the series has been this way, but this one is definitely an action platformer, and it seems to have some strategy elements to it too. We'll get into those a little bit later, but it kind of has to do with some of the folks you have following you around.
And as you said just before, you're able to control Abe again, and you're going to be controlling a legion of followers with you as well during the adventure to, I guess you have to free your people from the wrath of the villain Moloch. I don't know much about Moloch, but
Moloch owns the Rupture Farms, and he just wants to enslave all of your people. He's kind of like the big badass corporate overlord who's a piece of shit.
So clearly it's taking a darker and a more mature tone than the previous games. Like, you got blood all over the place and gore. It does seem to retain its whimsical and adventurous elements as well, though. So we'll get to see that combination to put to the test here.
Yeah, like, again, Stranger's Wrath was a little bit darker like that, but it doesn't seem like it's anything compared to what's going on in here. But again, the adventure is still there, and the humor is also on point. Oddworld has always been one of those games that wasn't afraid to delve into parody or comedy, and it seems like they're really continuing that here, and it's just got, like, this very 90s feel to it, where the humor is stupid and some of it's disgusting, but it makes you laugh anyways, because we all have that little juvenile gene in us that laughs at poop and fart jokes.
We all do.
Yeah.
Don't lie to yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, and aside from the new and tasty remake, which was actually a remake of Abe's Odyssey, which came out in I think it came out in 2014. Before that, we only had Stranger's Wrath, which was over 10 years ago. That game came out in 2005, so this is the first game in a while that seems to act as a direct sequel to Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. So I'm assuming that's the case anyways. It's kind of hard to tell right now, but we're going to see when it comes out on April 6th, which is coming up very fast. So that's going to be on PS4 and PS5, and it'll be on PC as well, exclusive to the Epic Games Store. Don't know for how long, maybe forever, we'll see, but it's there.
But I guess we should move on to our next one.
Okay, what's next?
Our next title is going to be Outriders. This one, I'll say it right off the bat, it's going to be coming out April 1st for the PS5, the PS4, Stadia, Xbox One, and the Series X, as well as just PC in general. It's developed by a Polish studio, People Can Fly. They're really renowned for being a good shooter developer.
Yep.
Looking at titles like Gears of War and Bulletstorm, these guys are responsible for some of those games, and it appears they want to continue their success in the shooter realm and going into this game, Outriders, which is actually a co-op RPG looter shooter and a big open world.
Good job leaving out Painkiller as well, which is another game that they're fucking very well known for. That is like one of those things that was like a big successor to Doom back in the day, and just absolutely amazing. When I saw that People Can Fly were working on this after playing Painkiller, I was like, okay, this is going to be something good. So yeah, it is an open world RPG looter shooter, as he just mentioned. It kind of reminds me of Anthem, actually, but if they had done Anthem correctly, you know, and not completely destroyed it and messed it up.
And not Iron Man.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, just made like an Iron Man ripoff kind of thing.
Yeah, this is just like boots to the ground kind of stuff, but lots of cool powers and stuff.
Yes, there's a lot of supernatural elements to this, which are making it even more intriguing to play than Anthem ever could have hoped to be. But, you know, within that world, like that open world there, we are going to have main quests and side quests, obviously. So yeah, don't worry, all those are going to scale to your level, so you won't have to worry about the game becoming less challenging the more powerful you become.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll balance things out correctly if you're with a player that's a little bit lower level than you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to see how that turns out when the game comes out. It's not really something that's going to deter anybody from buying the game, that's for sure.
I don't think so.
That would be a very small thing, of course. But yeah, to get back to it, there's multiple distinct locales and places to visit. The worlds look incredibly beautiful, I gotta say. And there's, like, aside from all these open world areas that you can have combat and fighting in, there's hub worlds as well where you can meet up, and obviously there's no combat and stuff, but you can still talk to NPCs, meet up with other players, go to shops and all that good stuff. But despite all these hub worlds, they even have a mobile hub that goes with you in form of like a big truck, essentially.
Yeah.
So you're going around, you have a mobile shop with you. You don't have to go all the way back to the hub town just to access these things, which I hear is a common complaint when it comes to these kind of games.
This is a good quality of life improvement. So, there's also a huge arsenal of sci-fi weapons to make use of. There are also character abilities, 4 different classes to play as, so I'm assuming they are all going to have their own unique abilities, but it seems with the skill tree it kind of lets you branch out a little bit and maybe choose ones from other classes, so that would be cool to kind of mix and match those things, and not to mention that all of your equipment, armor, guns, those will all be able to be modified as well with modifiers, so that'll further enhance how effective they can be in combat.
Yeah, and some of these guns look absolutely wild. You can see on the screen, like, that one's got tusks.
Yeah, that one's got tusks. That's fucking stupid, but I
mean... I want to know what it does, though.
Yeah, me too. Can I stab someone with a tusk?
My interest is piqued with that, but you know what? It does look like a really cool game, and I was kind of writing it off beforehand. I was looking at the trailers beforehand, and I wasn't really seeing it. But
now it looks
looking
cool.
into this game now to do some research to let you guys know about it, wow, I'm kind of a little bit more taken back than I was expecting to be.
Mm-hmm.
It does look really cool. It looks really fun. You might actually see us playing this year as a team. Because it does look a lot of fun. I kind of want to get my hands on it.
Like right now.
Yeah, like the 4 different classes, each of them having really cool abilities and stuff, does really look intriguing. And the colors and just the way the game looks, like, it just looks absolutely beautiful, I have to say it. I'm pretty excited for this one. I hope it does well. I hope it's not a big fucking bomb like Anthem was.
All right, so it looks too like they are hinting at some possible player agency with saying that like some of the choices that you make in the game could affect how events and quests turn out later down the line. So that would be kind of cool, because who doesn't like having agency in the story, feeling like you're actually affecting the world around you? I mean, you're super badass, you should be able to, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's actually a really cool part of the game if they actually do it properly. To cap it all off, on top of all the awesome things we've talked about, it has a really in-depth customization suite. So for both your character and for your vehicle, you're going to be unlocking some really cool-looking costumes, as you can see there. And even your vehicle can be customized in all sorts of different ways. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with that. And the future of this game is definitely up in the air. I have no idea what's coming for this, and I hope it does well. Again, I really do hope it does well. It does look good, but only time will tell.
They had me at you can hang the skulls of your enemies from the vehicle. So next we're going to take a look at Returnal. This is a third-person horror adventure with some roguelike elements, which was a little bit of a surprise, but it also has plenty of action in it from what we can see. You're playing as an astro scout named Celine, and she has crash-landed on an alien planet. She was looking for like a signal transmission that she was picking up, crash-landed, and the whole thing is now turned into a disaster.
So the game's got some high mobility going on in it. You got a jetpack, you can jump around, dash, fly, all the encounters you'll have with enemies, it looks like there's going to be a lot of movement involved in it, which I'm always a fan of. Actually, this kind of, don't shoot me guys, but this kind of looks like, the combat kind of reminds me of Mass Effect Andromeda.
It actually does look like that, doesn't it?
Yes,
like it does look
in
like
a lot
that.
of ways. Returnal has this Mass Effect vibe. You know, it's got the third-person space thing going on, but it does separate itself with the whole horror adventure aspect of it. Because like Mass Effect was mostly adventure. It did have a couple like menacing enemies in it, but it was not a horror game in any way. This has definitely got some horror elements in it.
That's right, yeah, because like that's one of the things, is the narrative in it is one of those ones that's very cerebral and really deep, and it like goes into your character's psyche and it starts exploring their traumas and things like that, and it's got this really sinister tone behind it, and you can feel the unease as you make it deeper and deeper into this planet and as you see more and more of the game. So yeah, I mean, that right there already has me sold, because I mean, we're suckers for horror games around here. But this one looks like it's going to stand out amongst others. I hope it does.
Yeah, it seems to be going for a couple different themes that were successful for other games in the past. Like, honestly, in the trailer, you see her open the door into her house, I guess, that is a mental construct for her. In that first look in the hallway, it honestly just reminds me of PT.
PT! Good for you, good for you, good for me.
Everybody's been talking about PT for the past like 10 years because it's a game that everybody really wanted to see happen, and it never did. So it looks like there's some parts of this game that kind of like remind me of that in the house there, but I doubt the game's going to be anything like that, so don't quote me on that.
Like, it does seem like it has its variety for sure. Again, horror narrative, absolutely, but a lot of the gameplay seems to be based around the action, and the action itself does look really cool. I mean, they also give you what seems to be a huge plethora of weapons that you can use. They all have these awesome alt fires that you can use with them as well. It's just, oh man, the balance between action and horror in this game looks almost like it's perfect. So this one definitely has us hyped. We will be checking this one out as soon as we get our hands on a PlayStation 5. That one is coming out exclusively for the PS5 on April 30th. So if you've got one and you like horror, I'd say this one's right up your alley. Check it out. Okay.
Let's move on to our final one. Yeah, we don't have an honorable mention for you guys because we had one, and it was...
They changed the release date tonight.
Yeah, I swear to God. Like, we had all the information out, and then they're like, yeah, release date's actually later, and so we just cut it from the list. Sorry, guys. We only have 5 for you, just like we promised. So, the 5th and final is Nier Replicant, version whatever the fuck number that is. I'm not reading that. I'm not.
Yeah, too many numeros for me.
That's a lot.
Yeah, me can't.
I don't know why they chose to choose that title, but they did. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a weird title, but you know what?
We're calling it Nier Replicant.
I'm just leaving it at that. It's a remake of Nier Replicant that actually released in 2010 for the PS3, so it's pretty much taking that game and just remaking it. If you know what that is, I mean, if you know what a remake is, I don't know.
Yeah, you better fucking know what a remake is. So it is a hack and slash game, just like the other titles in the series. It has some bullet hell inspiration in there too. You'll notice that with some of the bosses that you have to fight. This one has the parry system, which was actually absent from Nier Automata, which was kind of a strange decision. But this one has the parry system, and you can pair that in conjunction with your evasion moves, and it really makes for what looks like a very fluid combat experience.
The game does look really fun. As a hack and slash fan myself, I can say this one is one that I've always wanted to pick up. Even Nier Automata I haven't fully beaten yet, but I've definitely tried it. It is fun. It's just, I know it's going to be mission to beat it. You know what I mean? It's a long game.
Yeah.
So, and apparently there's lots of choices and decision making and stuff in it too, which can affect the ending of the games. Apparently, Nier Automata had multiple endings, so I'm not sure if this one does. Don't quote me on it, but I wouldn't be surprised. And then the other thing, like one of the big changes here, if anybody is a fan of Nier Automata, it is one of the more recent Nier games. So a lot of people might have played that one. There is a drone in that game that acts as your helper. It shoots and does like special moves for you. Looks like Grimoire, the freaking flying book, is going to be replacing your drone. So it looks like you have a magic book floating alongside you instead of a machine gun turret, essentially. So that's going to make for some interesting things, and the upgrading that you can do with that character, actually, it seems like there's some pretty cool things you can do, because I saw in the trailers there that you can have like a magical arm, or you could have like a dark lance or something, and it's just like either a projectile or it's got like some sort of like melee attack. It's really cool how they're giving options for that as well.
So yeah, it looks to be an awesome remake of a game that came out, over a decade ago now. So that is definitely due for the remaster remake treatment, and it looks like they have done that in spades. Here's hoping that the game still holds up all these years later. So that one is coming out on April 23rd for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So if you are looking for an awesome hack and slash game to play with what seems like a very compelling story, narrative, and world, this is one that you'll want to get your hands on.
This apparently comes before Automata, so play this one first if you're interested in starting yourself into the Nier world.
There you go. Chronological order, bitches.
So that's the 5 games we've got for you guys today, and we do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. We really appreciate all support. It helps us grow our little army here.
Make sure you check out all of our other social medias. All of the links will be down there below, and we even have a Discord if you're following, so make sure to get in on that action as well.
So that's going to be it for today's show, guys.
All right, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching.
Project dismissed. Peace out.